Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video is going to be a little bit more of a discussion in regards to understanding my pain. This is my second attempt at making this video, so let's see if it works. I wanted to give you a little bit more in-depth of a discussion talking about and highlighting on certain areas of my body that are highly affected with pain and how that affects me now, like what types of things are hard to do because of that pain. So basically, it doesn't matter if the weather's hot or cold, pain affects me all the time. So it doesn't really matter what the weather's like. I'm in pain all the time. I don't have like a remission. I'm just constantly in pain 24/7. So it's just whether or not one part of my body hurts more than the other or what I focus on more at that time. So bear with me. I made some notes because for me, I don't want to forget anything, especially because I want to talk about key areas and explain to you what I go through on a daily basis, like what struggles I'm going through having ankylosing spondylitis. Now, keep in mind, anyone else who has this disease as well, it doesn't necessarily mean these are the same circumstances for those people. Everyone battles this disease in their own way and differently, and I might be affected in certain ways than other people who have this disease are. So just wanted to highlight some parts that have affected me and where I hurt all the time or where I hurt the most. So getting started, I just wanted to mention that when I go to a rheumatologist appointment, for example, they ask you to rate your pain on a level from 0 to 10. Now, 0 being no pain, 10 being highest pain. And I used to be anywhere from a 9, 10, 11, and 12 is what I would express. And that was before Cosentyx, and that was for several years. So now when I go to a rheumatologist, I can honestly say that my pain is anywhere from a 7 to a 10. So it has, the Cosentyx has helped drop me down a little bit, and I find that it's helping take the edge off. So regardless to what drug I'm on, I'm still in a lot of pain. And I do have some bone deterioration and scarring on my joints and affected areas from this disease and how progressed it is. So some people might only need something like an anti-inflammatory to help them manage their pain. And other people are going through biologics as well as adding anti-inflammatories, infusions, things like that. So I've been through so many different things, so I'm going to be talking about some of the medications that I have been on in the past and talking a little bit more about the one I'm on currently, but that's going to be a whole different video. So getting back to the understanding my pain, basically like in a day when I'm getting up in the morning, whether I have to work or get Brayson off to school or whatever it may be, I'm stiff anywhere from 2 to 4 hours in a typical day. My body does not want to get up out of bed. My body does not want to function and get started for the day. So I do have a lot of stiffness in the morning. Stretching doesn't necessarily help give me full mobility. It doesn't necessarily help at all. Sometimes stretching doesn't do anything. Sometimes I'm in a lot of pain no matter what, and I'm not going to help myself. But sometimes it gives me a little bit more mobility. I do need to work on stretching more if possible because I find that sometimes it does benefit. It gives me a little bit more mobility to keep going, and I need to work on that. So that's something which I'm learning in physio as we speak. So I've just been going to physio now, I want to say 6 months or less, but it's only like once a month I have to go to the appointment. So they're teaching me different things as well as measuring me, and I'm learning how to do breathing exercises. So that's helping with some of my lung expansion and my rib cage and things like that. So, sorry, I'm not trying to say, the best part of my day as far as pain is late afternoon and dinner time. Now, depending on what I'm doing, if I do have to do something in the morning like errands or work, or if I'm up all day and I don't take a nap, sometimes afternoon can be worse. It just depends on what I'm doing. But morning is hard for me because I'm stiff and my body has warmed up a little bit more come late afternoon. Now, I'm going to kind of start from, like, the beginning. So, of, like, fingers, wrist, and hands. So, I'll start with that first. So, I always get my joints checked out, my knuckles, my wrists, and my arms. Like, how everything is when I go to the rheumatologist. They kind of check everything to see if I'm swollen, inflamed, and how my mobility is affected at that time. So, with ankylosing spondylitis now, I'm finding little things such as using tweezers and having to use my fingers. Can it be hard to do? Breaking apart Lego for bracing if I don't use the tool. Picking a zit, even though you shouldn't do that. Putting on makeup. I find, like, putting on my makeup, using the brushes, my hands hurt. Opening jars are absolutely the hardest thing, and Brayson is starting to see that more and more. I can't seem to get a jar open very easily. What else? Typing on my computer. I'm a very fast typer. Surprisingly, I didn't get carpal tunnel or anything growing up, but I'm a very fast typer, and I find I get cramps in my hands and my wrists very easily. Holding dishes, if I have to wash anything by hand, is utterly difficult. My hands cramp up on me, and they're extremely hard to use. Now, that's both hands. There's not one over the other that's worse than the other. They both are terrible. Gripping things, holding on to things, that's getting harder to do. Moving on to my elbows. I have elbows problems as far as cracking and stiffness. Lifting things, my elbows will crack, or bending my arms, they'll crack. Shoulders, I've had such stiffness in the shoulders. That's what started the physio in the first place. I had to start going to physiotherapy because my shoulders got so stiff to the point where I was hurting in my chest, I was hurting in my upper back. I found I couldn't move very well, and I didn't know why it was getting severely worse. So your body does respond, fighting its, like the immune system, fighting it on different ways. So, in different ways. So, basically, my body's fighting this disease, and it's attacking different parts of the body that I may or may not have had affected before. So, I'm finding that I'm getting different areas now that are stiff that maybe weren't stiff ever before. So, my shoulders have definitely becoming a problem for me. Physio is helping me loosen that up, as well as stretches and things like that. I'm finding that I have loosened it up quite a bit starting physiotherapy. Going up to my neck. My neck is a prime area where I have a lot of pain on a regular basis. I did go to an Obisform pillow around Christmas time of last year. I found it has helped me significantly as far as keeping my head placed in one spot for sleeping positions, but now I'm getting stiff necks again. So I don't know if the Obisform pillow is just no longer helping me, or if I'm going to have to try something else. So that has been a problem for me for a long, long time. I've even had MRIs and CT scans on my neck to keep an eye on the mobility of that, because it is a high area for pain. When I have to look over my shoulders, I can feel it stiff right now in the back of it. I do get massive headaches and migraines, as well as having the stiffness. So when I have a pinched nerve in my neck or a stiffness in my neck, I usually have to go for a massage. I try to rub it out myself. I have to take Advil for the headaches. I find that the neck pain and the neck tension is the worst thing ever. Sometimes I would rather have just the back pain than not have the neck pain at all. That's one thing I wish I didn't have to go through. It does cause a lot of tension headaches that stress me out severely, and it can make or break your day, that's for sure. As far as, yeah, so like when I'm driving, like you have to look behind you to change lanes. That affects me a lot too. Lower, upper, and middle back. So basically, when I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, it was just in my lower spine, so lower lumbar joints on the left and the right side. Now I have middle back pain and upper back pain, more so now than ever before. I didn't have it as bad before, but now I do. Sorry, guys. So basically, now I'm dealing with different sections of my back now hurting. Now, sitting here in this chair while I'm talking to you, I am so uncomfortable, you have no idea. I can't seem to get the position correct, and the pain is so intolerable right now. Like, I'm just uncomfortable all the time. I can't seem to get comfortable. So a lot of people find me rotating positions. I'll sit, I'll stand, I'll lay. I try to do anything I can to get myself comfortable, and I find that I'm just never comfortable. I'm very antsy, I'm very twitchy, I have like restless foot syndrome most of the time. People, when they talk to me, find I fidget with my hands a lot now. I do speak with my hands on a regular basis, but I'm trying to find ways to focus my brain, and it's very, very, very hard. Having a chronic pain where you can't get rid of that pain and you're going to have it the rest of your life, it's very hard to channel yourself. So it's always in your mind. You can't get rid of it, and it's very hard to focus your thoughts on other things. When it comes to getting in and out of my car, I have a hard time. Bending down to pick something up, or lifting things, carrying groceries, or carrying a lot of things at once. I have to make several trips because I hurt so much. Bending down now, I have to crouch down into like a squatting position to try to do what I need to and try to stand back up. If I go from a laying position, it takes me a little bit to get up. Opening and closing doors are getting harder. Anything with my wrists or hands, like I said, are getting harder. My hips. My hips were more of a problem in the beginning of my ankylosing spondylitis. Now I find that the pain has shifted all over my body in different places, that the hips aren't as much of a problem as they used to be. I find that my pain focus is now more in other parts and aspects, such as my neck, my lower back, and things like that. When it comes to knees, my knees hurt when it's going to rain. I have arthritis all over my body, so basically I hurt at all different weather types. Bending and walking, my knees are affected. My ankles and my feet and my toes, they are another thing that are just as bad as my neck. The joint, the ankle bone, like the ankle joint where your foot and your ankle connect, is the worst place for me now than ever before. I used to be able to sit on my feet. I can't do that anymore. When I'm walking, my feet hurt. I feel the pressures and the pains in the bottom of my feet now as well. My toes have muscle spasms. It almost feels like nerve pain in my toes. I do lose feeling in my fingers and my toes and my feet. They go numb a lot. It's almost like a poor circulation. So walking, I'm heavily affected now. When I do go grocery shopping, I do grab a cart whether I need one or not. I do find myself using it like a walker. I lean on it. I do use that to take some of the pressure off other places in my body. And I kind of lean on the cart and push it around, and I use it to help me get around. I also get eye pains now. Like, my eyes are always dry, irritated. I have to use lubricating eye drops. I have to get eye examinations done more regularly. I get mouth sores inside my mouth and on my tongue. My tongue swells. Those can be very, very painful. I have folliculitis now, and it's a chronic form of folliculitis, which causes very severe pain. It feels like a third-degree burn. Some people can relate it to shingles. It's a very painful situation. I get my son to walk on my back now, which is something that I need more often. I don't get massages very often because I can't really afford to get massages. I don't have a benefits plan for that. So there's a lot of things that I wish benefits would cover to help someone like myself with ankylosing spondylitis. I do find that I have to stop what I'm doing, such as like if I'm cooking dinner or folding laundry or cleaning my house, I need to take breaks and slow down what I'm doing. I can't keep going like I used to do. I always have to stop now and take a break because my back won't let me keep going. If I do dishes or vacuum or mop the floor, that can make me hurt for 2 to 3 days afterwards. Grocery shopping is hard to do. I always need to have a cart. I can't just carry things. I always have to have a cart to carry things to and from the car. Just unloading the car is stressful and painful. I'm trying to think of some of the other things that I'm heavily affected with. Getting dressed is kind of painful sometimes. I have to sit down now to put socks on. I have to be careful when I'm bending and lifting and, you know, going down to a bending position because bending hurts a lot. Brushing my hair, I'm fine. Going hands above head isn't so terrible. Like, some people have issues bathing, bathing, showering, and stuff like that. Getting out of my tub is hard to do. Getting down from that low sitting position. If I'm laying down on the floor and getting back up, that's hard. Getting out of bed in the morning is hard. My I'm trying to think of some of the other things that I like to do that are heavily affected. Just moving around in general. Like, that's why I stay home a lot. I don't like to go anywhere. I don't like to do very much because being very active and very busy hurts. Even working out. I used to have a gym membership and I hurt for days and days after a workout. Some people feel better after working out, like they've relieved some stiffness. I actually am the opposite. I would feel great at the time of working out and after working out, and then all of a sudden, you know, immense stiffness comes the next day. And I can't work out 7 days a week. My body would never stop hurting even more. I'd be in so much more pain than ever before. So I'm trying to stretch. I'm trying to do that kind of stuff. Now, lots of people have said meditation is a good way to help channel your, you know, your pains and your thoughts, but I have yet to do that. I still don't know how to shut my brain off and figure out how to do that. So I want to get into it and learn how to do it. Taking like ibuprofen or Tylenol and things like that don't work for me. I have to take naproxen. It's prescribed. And my rheumatologist wanted me to take it on a regular basis, but I don't want my body to become immune and accustomed to certain things so that I don't have anything in case of extreme, excruciating days. I do use something as well. I've tried all sorts of gels, muscle creams, sprays, ointments, things like that. This is one of the ones that I do use that I like to use that can help take sort of the edge off. This is Arbonne. It is a Arbonne Essentials Herbal Muscle Massage Gel. It's like a joint cream. Now this stuff heats itself over again. So when you apply it to your body, it does activate a little bit later. Like it kicks in maybe 5 or 10 minutes later. And it has a numbing kind of feeling. It's a heating kind of feeling. I accidentally wore it one time when I was driving to a doctor's appointment, and it was like to Toronto. It was a 2-hour drive. And this stuff was burning on my back. So sweat was kind of reactivating it and reheating it up, and my entire back was on fire. So you want to be careful when using it. You don't want to touch your face or eyes after wearing it and using it. But I highly recommend it. It is in Canada and the United States. It's only $18 Canadian for me. I absolutely love it, and I've tried so many kinds, like A535 sprays, Voltaren, a lot of things that are like herbal, medicinal, from like say homemade naturopaths and things like that. I've tried a lot of things. This is the only one that I seem to like. So if you haven't tried it or heard of it, get a chance to check it out. Arbonne Essentials Massage Gel. It has a spearmint fragrance or scent. Absolutely love it. My cat loves it too. Every time I rub it all over myself. Peppermint attracts cats for some reason. It's in catnip, so I love it. My son even loves it. Like, it's a great smell. I'm trying to think of some other things that I've used. Heating pads, ice packs. I've tried all that kind of stuff. Heating doesn't really loosen me up as much as I would like it to. Ice I try to use as more of a numbing feature. I try to listen to a lot of music to distract my mind. Going to bed is the most painful time of the night because that's when your body is the most relaxed. You lay down and you feel that pain intensify. So for someone who's been standing on their feet all day for an 8-hour job, when you come home at night and you sit down for the first time, you get that immense pain in your lower back or whatever, your legs. I get that times 300. Like, it's so intense at bedtime for me. It's hard to sleep. I've had a lot of nights of insomnia. I wake up in pain. I go to bed in pain. It's something that's very, very stressful, and it's hard to channel your thoughts and brain feeling. Like, how to control your brain during those painful moments is very, very hard. And speaking of pain, I'm getting more and more uncomfortable sitting here. So that's why my YouTube videos don't tend to be as long, because sitting here is very uncomfortable. But yeah, so I do listen to music to try to occupy my mind. Getting tattoos is therapeutic. It's a pain that I can focus on instead of my other pain for a little short time while it heals. I want to get more piercings in my ears to help take away the thoughts. When I re-stretched my ears, I now have 0 gauge. I was a 2 gauge. I even had to stretch them. And going through that stretching process again, I haven't done it since I was 13. That was painful, and it helped take my mind off of things. So I don't recommend, you know, self-inflicting pain in any way. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, like, other pains, like, say if I hurt myself, like I skinned my knee or something, it's like I can focus on that for a minute. It's taking my mind off those other bigger pains at that time. So it's like, I don't know if there's maybe I need to get those, what are they called? Those shock therapy pads where you attach them to yourself and they kind of shock you. I need to get some of those. I forget what the proper name is for those. If you remember what it is, comment down below. But I know they can be very pricey, but maybe that's what I need to do, like a shock therapy to help me get through the pain, because I need to channel my thoughts elsewhere. So that seems to be the gist of the notes that I have written down for today's video for you guys to understand my pain. Basically, like, everything hurts. Even when I inject into myself, I get, pain for a couple of days in my stomach. I am always in pain. It doesn't matter what I do. My life is now affected by this disease, and it does affect the things that I do on a daily basis. I am going to make a video explaining to you guys a little bit more of the things in my life that I either used to do and I can't do now, or how it affects me now if I do certain things. So I will get into that more in an in-depth conversation. I hope I outlined a few more of the details specifically with some examples of things that, it affects me and how it affects me and stuff like that. And if you ever notice that I do blink a lot in my videos, which I do, that is from irritated eyes all the time. I have constant dryness, constant irritations. It's one thing that affects me. And the eye doctor says that I don't even fully close my eyes at night when I blink or when I sleep. So I do have a lot of issues with my eyes as well. Like, it's, some explanation of why I am the way I am in some of my videos and why I blink so much. But, like I had mentioned in the beginning of this video, not everyone is going to be affected the same way. There's a lot of medications people can take differently in the early stages that someone like myself may not be able to take because it doesn't affect them that way. I will do a video as well outlining some of the medications that I have taken before and the ones that I'm on now, and kind of discuss a little bit about that as well and how they worked for me or didn't work for me. So I hope you guys liked my video. I know it's kind of long. I didn't want it to be too long, but wanted to give you more in-depth details about sort of the pain and the things that I struggle with. So don't forget to give my video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can click the little bell down below to be notified of upcoming videos that I do upload when I do. And you can also click my Facebook group links down below as well. So thank you for listening to my daily struggles and my pain and things like that. If you ever have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to comment down below. I do respond. And until the next video, guys, thank you for tuning into my channel and following my journey and my struggles. And I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. It's almost the weekend. And until the next video, guys, thank you for watching. Bye!